Hello, everyone. It's Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we offer knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life. And Ageless, anti-aging for your brain, your body, and your future. Before the pandemic rocked the world, like 5 or 6 years ago, I was in Salt Lake City enjoying the yearly convention of a health and wellness company that I've been a part of for almost 30 years. And even though the convention was filled with world-class speakers and exciting entertainment and mind-blowing new products and uplifting award ceremonies, what struck me most profoundly was a story shared from the stage by a marketing executive named Janice Walker. Here's what she told us. She said several years ago, she had returned from Africa where she had gone to adopt 2 young twin brothers. She and her husband already had 4 biological children and 2 other adopted children. By the way, they now have 11, 4 with special needs. Anyway, she talked about how her joy in adopting these 2 young twin brothers who were orphans and fending for themselves turned pretty much into anguish after they returned to the States and faced the difficult reality of raising 2 young boys who spoke no English, had never used a toilet, had never eaten with utensils, and whose only life experience was surviving as orphans in the African bush country. And now they were living in suburban Seattle. And Janice shared that one day it just all became too much for her. And she sat down on the couch feeling that perhaps they had made a big mistake, and she began to weep. And after a while, 5 words appeared to her. It's not just about you. And at that moment, she said she woke up and her entire life shifted. And from that day on, in her family life and her business life, whenever she found herself slipping into a poor me frame of mind, she simply thought, it's not just about you, and added, how can I enhance the life of another? How can I serve? That was when her life became magical. And she went on to share how her personal realization was reinforced when, on the day after the Seattle Seahawks quarterback, Russell Wilson, was thought to have blown the Super Bowl for his team by throwing an interception in the final seconds of the game, Russell showed up at the Children's Hospital where one of Janice's sons was having an operation on his cleft palate. Russell was there to make his weekly rounds of visiting the hospital's most critically ill children. And being the true hero that he was, instead of wallowing in his loss, he moved on because he knew, you guessed it, it's not just about me. Has this been a time of huge change or challenge for you personally? Does the world and its problems seem even a bit not only overwhelming, but even surreal these days, with war raging and climate incidents increasing and mass shootings becoming almost commonplace and our politicians completely out of control? One can begin to feel a little overwhelmed. And if that's what you're feeling, you're not alone. First of all, according to many ancient prophecies, if you're into those things, these times of radical change have been predicted. While some interpret events in the ending of the Mayan long count calendar, which ended several years ago, as the beginning of catastrophic times, but most think it signals a shift into a new and glorious era for mankind, or let's say humankind. I choose to believe the latter is true, that we're going through a global shift in consciousness that's opening us up internally, and it's shaking things up externally in the meantime. When you have a loss or even a tragedy, at first there's pain, pure and simple. And I suggest that you allow yourself to feel the pain, feel your feelings rather than resist them. Cry, rage, give yourself time to rest. And if you do, those feelings could actually blossom into something else. Gratitude can begin to well up for the past and the present, and a sense of peace can emerge about the future. And love can fill you with a beautiful depth and compassion for other people who are also facing uncertainty. The Buddhist nun Pema Chodron once wrote, We can let the circumstances of our lives harden us so that we become increasingly resentful and afraid, or we can let them soften us and make us kinder and more open, even to what scares us. We want to let these experiences soften us and make us kinder so that we emerge from the fire of change as more compassionate, more open, and more loving people. The key is, again, to take time to feel the sorrow or the fear and to know that this too shall pass. To trust that all that happens is ultimately for our good, or as the great teacher Byron Katie says, life is simple. Everything happens for you, not to you. Everything happens at exactly the right moment, neither too soon nor too late. You don't have to like it. It's just easier if you do. And if all that is too much to take in, let's make it simple and just go back to what our friend Janice Walker taught us when she thought she'd made a big mistake and simply didn't know what to do. Remind yourself, it's not just about me. And I'll never forget how Janice ended her powerful talk when she said, and the truth is, no matter how bad it gets for some of us, there are many people out there praying for exactly what you take for granted. Sending you love, as always. Bye for now.